Good morning, everybody. It is Good Friday. I know everybody's getting settled on the call. Hey, wanted to throw something out there real quick. I am trying to come up with social media ideas that are fun and entertaining. I just found out Jennifer Hudson has done this before, but I was thinking next Tuesday before our team meeting at 10 o'clock, for those that want to, think it'd be fun to do a spirit tunnel down both of the hallways and us dance our way into the training room before team meeting. So calling all dancers out there, non-dancers out there, let's have a little fun. I'm going to call it a second line. We could call it a, for NPHC folks, you know what that means. And for me, I just like to dance. So I think it'd be fun to do that, call it Elevate Season, and we're stepping into bold at Laugh Out Loud Non-Dancer. Now, everybody's got some soul in them. They just got to go tap into it. So all that to say is we're going to do that next Tuesday at 10, and we're going to get some content of us having some fun dancing down the hallways, stepping into what I'm calling Elevate Season. So I got a new hashtag, and I'm calling it Elevate Season, which I think is something that, as we go into February with all the events that we have going on, how do we elevate our cities? How do we elevate ourselves? And how do we continue to elevate our businesses? So I just think it'd be fun and showcase who we are in the incredible fabric of the amazing human beings that we are in our office. So all that to say is I'll get some more stuff out. Kirsten, I haven't even told you this yet. So I've got a social media idea, but we'll get on that later. And then we'll do prayer hour right after that. So my thought is dance from 10 to 10:30. 10:30 for those of us that are prayerful. We'll go to the large conference room and do some praying over our agents and anybody in need from 10:30 to 10:50, and then we'll hop into Black History Month celebration at 11, which I know our ALC has been working incredibly hard on that. Always an incredible event. Let's celebrate Black History Month. So looking forward to a fun day on Tuesday. So anybody that wants to dance, put on your gear. Let's go. And then just a couple of other announcements. We do have our awards on what night, Linda?
February 26th.
February 26th. Y'all know I can't remember dates. And so February 26th, we'll celebrate awards. So I really want this to be Elevate Season. So what I mean by that is we have create, develop, inspire is our hashtag. I now want us to start using the hashtag Elevate Season. Because elevating is what we're doing. We're elevating ourselves as business owners. We're elevating the real estate community, and quite frankly, elevating ourselves. So always grow, always learn, and always elevate. All right. Those are just a few announcements. I got a lot of energy this morning for y'all. So bringing that into Tuesday as we dance our way into the training room. And I've got a dear friend of mine on the call. Tony, I was just bragging on you on another call about your energy. Your follow-up game beats nobody else in the business. As a coach, entrepreneur, and just a business owner, he is always a man with a plan. We got Mr. Tony Wallis on the call. Tony, I'm going to move it over to you for some mindset conversation this morning. Y'all welcome Tony in the chat, please. We got to unmute Tony. Sorry.
Hi, Tony, you're muted.
Mute. There we go. Hey, sorry, I'm talking to a muted Zoom. I hate when that happens. So I'd love to see some people come off of get on the camera if you possibly can. It's a lot better talking to seeing those faces, and it just makes it a little bit more fun. So we've got about a 10-minute presentation. It's real quick. And I'm going to start with the first slide. So one finish beats 10 starts. You're probably wondering what exactly does that mean? So what it means is this, and I'm going to ask you this question. I'd love to hear your feedback. What's currently hanging over you? What's one thing you've been working on for days, weeks, but hasn't actually moved? Maybe it's updating your database. Maybe it's getting tags in your database. Maybe it's finishing that open house system. Who's got some stuff that they're hanging on that they would like to share and say, man, I've been working on that for a week. I can't get it done, or a month. Please jump in. I'd love to hear what you got.
Who's got something? Linda, you unmuted?
I did unmute. I've been working on a follow-up system for 6 months. It's crazy. Feels like forever.
Okay, follow-up system for.
Recruiting.
Recruiting.
Okay,
Sorry, I
I just
muted
lost you
myself.
there.
Yeah, I'm the team leader. So yeah, I have a great way of getting appointments, but I got to make sure my follow-up game is stronger. So that's just something that's always in weighing on my head.
Okay, love that. Who else has got something that's hanging over them that's been like, man, really like to get this done, but as you all know, and being a realtor in this world, life happens. Things get in our way. If you got children, kids, got things going on, there's always stuff we have to deal with. I just love to get one more example.
So, hey there, Tony. I'm a dual career agent, and I gotta admit, I struggle with making calls. Just trying to find the right time frames, the right schedule, how to make the most impact, especially for my circle of influence when they kind of work the same hours that I do. So, I can say I
Okay.
struggle with that, putting a system in place to really make sure I'm doing calls as a lead gen strategy.
Okay. So what do you think is holding back?
Mindset, I think, is a big part of it, but also just the right systems in place. Because if I get to the call and something happens, what's the next steps? So I think that that's a big part of it. Mindset and just having a clear cut next steps, what happens, that kind of thing.
Okay. Um, do you ever feel like you're going to call somebody and bother them? I, I
Always.
see, I see Alicia. She's like, yeah, yeah, that might be me.
Always. Yeah. Is it unsolicited? Because that can change the viewpoint of how people not only see me, but the services we provide as a community.
Gotcha. Because that's the story we tell ourselves all the time, including me, by the way. Um, that we're going to bother that person that we're calling when we're checking in with them. Um, I think one thing, and we'll talk about this a little bit later as well, is your mindset is huge, and you really need to always come from one or two places. You're either coming from contribution or curiosity. If you're coming from one of those two places, you're always going to be okay. You're not coming from a want to buy or sell. You're coming from how are things? How are you? Hey, I saw your son just graduated from high school. I never thought that was going to happen. Um, but so it's coming from curiosity, coming from contribution. Those two places, when you come from curiosity or contribution, that puts people at ease, and it also opens the door to the conversation, if that makes sense. Sound like a plan? Does that make sense?
It absolutely
Did I lose
does.
people?
No,
Okay.
I'm still here. I had to find the mute button, but yes, it makes sense for sure.
Those damn mute buttons. So I want to start with this, and this is something that I've heard many times from Gary. Life's an inside job, and everything that you do as far as an idea or a project, it starts on the inside, right? It starts on the inside. So we're idea machines. I don't know about you guys, but I may or may not have been confused, or not confused, accused of being a shiny object person. How about you guys? Everybody has said that to you? Just, hey, you got the latest and greatest new toy, latest and greatest new this. But the ideas start on the inside. And when you get an idea, it feels really clean, really easy, and totally doable. And it's formed on the inside, but so examples, I got to clean up my database. I got to finish that CMA template. I've got to make sure I get that video plan all done. So everything's feeling good. You got that idea, and you are just going to crush it until reality hits. And that project hits what we call a friction wall. It's like, damn, I didn't expect this. Okay, I didn't see that problem coming. All right, now that makes things a little more difficult. And it becomes a bit of a problem. And by the way, there is no project that you do that doesn't have a bit of a twist to it. There's always something that makes things a little bit different. So the truth is, things get messy. Absolutely. And they're always going to. So one of two things can happen. Either we can figure out a way to stay focused and move forward, or what happens to a lot of us, and I'd love to hear from you guys, you know what? I got this new idea. It's awesome. I'm jumping onto that one because that new idea is in the same spot as the old idea. It's easy to do. It's totally doable. I got it. I'm rocking. But yet, it's what we're doing is it's avoidance. We're avoiding it because we're running into problems. And that's what we're going to talk about. How do we get past that? And we call it open loops. So when we get stuff that's open, we start a project, don't finish it. So it's hanging out there. Start a project, don't finish it. There's a cost to that. There's a cost of income. There's a cost of relationships. There's a ton of different things that it can be impacting us, and we don't necessarily even know it. But by not having those loops closed, it leaves us open to, most importantly, lost business. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like to lose any business, if at all possible. So the shift is what you need to look at instead of at this whole big project. Is when you look at a huge project, it can now again, when it started out, it was pretty simple. We got this baby dialed in, we're good. But when it gets messy and when it gets big, now it becomes a big project and it becomes harder to work on. But instead of looking at it as a whole project, look at it as what we call a deliverable. So what can I do on this massive project? And let's just use your database, for example. And let's say you got 500 people in your database and you're trying to get them all cleaned up. You're getting them with tags, you're doing this. So instead of looking at all the things you've got to do, what if you said, you know what, today I'm going to do 5 people in my database as my standard. If I can get 5 done, maybe I can get 10 done, but at least I'm doing 5. That's my deliverable for the day. And what happens is that becomes something that you finish up, you deliver on that the deliverable, sorry, and it makes you feel good. You finish something. So instead of having 10 different projects that you've started, we're going to finish one. And it's going to be in the form of what we call a deliverable. You break it down, you chunk it down, you make it much, much easier to be able to work with. Does that make sense? I'd love to hear what you guys are hearing right now before I jump to the next slide.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah,
I love
totally.
it. I think it goes back to what they were just saying, Tony, about the tags. Like only tag 5. Like you just have to start, right? Like instead of looking
Bingo.
at the whole thing and essentially bailing out because it's too much, just do 5. Just make 5 calls to get the reps in, and then once you get the reps in, you can double down on the reps as you get used to it.
Yeah. And you'll find that as you um deliver on the deliverables, things get much easier because you start to develop a rhythm, start to develop confidence, if that makes sense. So go on to the next slide here. Come on, there we go. So change of reframing your mindset. Somebody said it earlier, I'm not sure who it was, but you're absolutely right. So the old way of doing things is kind of vague. The new way is definitely finishable. So let's say you're working on your sphere. Finish calling 5 people. Do market research. I'm just going to send out 2 CMAs. I'm not sending out CMAs, my whole database. And I got this really cool now marketing thing that they're going to love because if you start doing that, you're only going to finish so many. You're going to finish logging the notes for every conversation in your database. No, just get organized and just get as many notes done as you can. I'm going to follow up later. No, I'm going to follow up with 10 people from that open house. And if I had a really good open house, I'm going to follow up with 10 more tomorrow until I get everybody contacted. And one thing that's not in the slide deck that I want to just have, I'm going to ask you this question. I want you to think about it. Do you have different times during the day when your energy is at a different level? Yes? No?
Yes.
Maybe?
Absolutely. Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of times what we try to do is we try to force our way through a time in the day when we're not at our best because we're not at our best all the time. So got to figure out, be very conscious of when our energy is high, why that is. Some people are morning people, some people are afternoon people, some people are midday people. Everybody's different. There's no right or wrong. But can you figure out when the best time for you to do your work is? And then the second thing on top of that is what's my window that I can be the most effective in what I do? Is it in 30-minute increments? Is it in 25-minute increments? Is it in what? You need to play with that and find out what is your best amount. I always recommend starting lower. You're starting here, and it's so let's say it was 10 minutes. Sounds kind of like that's easy. Good. Get 10 minutes, get into a rhythm. Now it's 15. Now it's 20. And this happens over time. This doesn't just happen right away. Excuse me. My mouse is not cooperating. There we go. So when you finish something, you feel like you won. It creates relief. It builds, builds confidence. It clears mental space. We get so much stuff wrapped up in our head, and it makes things confusing for us. It also creates momentum, and most importantly, it creates results. And there's a quote from Jay Papasan that I really, really love. And the quote goes like this. Sometimes you feel like you're succeeding so slowly, you feel like you're failing because you're not seeing it. We live in an Amazon by 2 p.m. world, do we not? It's crazy. So everything happens really, really quick. So if you're doing the work consistently and you're figuring out the chunks, you're figuring out the time, that's when you start to have some success. So if little rule of one sitting, if it can be finished in one sitting, just don't start it, finish it, do it. If you can do something that's going to be, hey, I can get this done, and it's a project I can get done in 10 minutes, do it. Get it done. If you got a big project, that's when you need to start breaking it down into deliverables. Okay. Am I making sense?
Yeah, I love
Yes.
how simple. I like how simple it is. Focus on the
Yeah,
deliverables and not
it's
the
not
entire
rocket
project.
science. It's definitely not rocket science. So here's your challenge for today. Take some time to think about the one thing that's been hanging over you, whether it's cleaning up your database, um, open house system, sphere of influence system, whatever that is. What's the one thing that's been hanging over you that you keep moving? Comes off your checklist to the next day, to the next day, to the next day. And then out of that, define a finishable deliverable that you can come up with. And one thing that I learned in working with Jay and his group, at Productive, and the one thing is that a success list as opposed to a to-do list. How many guys have you ever heard that before? Yes, no, maybe.
Yes.
Yes. So when you have a success list, what you're doing is you're putting all of these things that you need to do to finish this project. You just write them all down, and then you go back and you look at them and say, okay, what are the 20% items that are going to drive the results for me? So it comes back to the 80-20 rule, Pareto principle. So what are the eight? Now you're going to end up doing all of them to get the project done, right? But you're only going to focus on the 20%. And then from there, you go extreme Pareto and focus on, and this is the question, if I could only complete one thing today, what would it be? If I could only complete one thing today, what would it be? And what that does is it forces us to focus in on the most important. It breaks it right down so it becomes much, much simpler to be able to move forward with it. And so what are the deliverables you can finish? Can't talk today, sorry. What are the deliverables you can finish today? Pick one. We all have some. If you say you don't have one, I'm not believing you. We all have stuff we're working on. So what's
So you
the
got a
one
lot of
thing?
comments in the chat too. Tracy
Okay,
says the one
I
thing
haven't
that
been looking at it. I'm going to jump right
okay.
in.
Yeah, there's just a lot of good comments there.
Okay. Um, and basically the last slide just says one finish beats 10. And if you can finish that deliverable and start doing that on a consistent basis, boy, it's going to drive a lot for you. So let me go back to my Zoom. Open that up. Come on now. There we go. Okay. All right. I know I don't want to take up all your time. I probably have taken more time than I should have. Um, what did you hear? I talked a lot, but what did you hear?
Finish, start something small and finish it. Try to
There
finish
you
it.
go. And figure out what's the most important thing out of that project that you need to work on. And you do that by creating a success list and then take that success list. So if you have 15 items on the success list, grab three. And then out of those three, and it's going to be hard because you're going to get what we call FOMO, fear of missing out. Take out of those three, you pick one. First time you're like, no, I got to do them all. Yes, you do, but not right now. Not right now. So one step at a time, consistently, will get you where you want to go.
Can you
And
repeat
I'm
what
going to
is
go.
FOMO?
Pardon? Fear of missing
What is
out.
the fear? Okay, thank you.
Fear of missing out. Yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
where am I getting
It's fun.
my notes here in my Zoom? I'm not seeing it. Come on now. Give me a hard time. Well, there we go. All right. Come on. I want to see some of the notes in the chat, and for some reason I'm not seeing them. I don't know
I'll
why.
hit them. It says
Please.
how to eat an elephant one bite at a time, break large projects down into deliverables. Sammy says chunk it down. Andrea says don't leave things incomplete. The one thing, Tracy says the one thing that I can actually finish. Alicia says you don't need a perfect day, you need a finished deliverable. Focus on deliverables,
Ooh.
not the entire project. And then everybody is
Who
loving
said that
FOMO.
about I'm sorry to interrupt. Who said that about the perfect day?
Alicia.
I tell you what, a lot of us are perfectionists. We are. And if we don't have it just exactly the way we want it, we dive in some more and dive in some more and dive in some more. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You'll get there. It doesn't have to be perfect. I love that. That's a really, really good mindset shift and a great realization. I love that. Go up here. Who else has got comments, questions? Oh, there's the
Tony,
chat. It's full of stuff.
Tony, how
Go
can
ahead.
they reach you?
Oh, I will send a copy of this, Sarah, to you
Cool.
with all my contact information in it. And yeah, feel free. Reach out if you get questions, and pop me an email, and I'll do the best I can to give you a response that's helpful. I've known Sarah for quite a few years now, and she's I love to help. So
Tony's a
absolutely
maps
not a problem.
coach. You're one thing certified too, right? You're
Correct.
one thing certified. If you hadn't read the book, you need to read the book. Maps coach, business coach, pretty much is a jack of all trades here, and is very wise. So
Well, thank you.
we'll get this out to you all. We'll give you his contact information as well.
Yep, and I'll send you a copy of the slide deck. And then if you got questions, nobody succeeds alone. Reach out and ask. Reach out and
We
ask.
We appreciate you, Tony.
Thank
No,
you,
thanks,
Tony.
guys.
Bomb.com.
Thank
That's another
you.
phrase. Bomb.com. FOMO, bomb.com. Lots of good things.
There you
I
go.
like idea machines too, Tony. That's probably a funnier phrase I've heard in
we
a
are
while.
definitely idea machines. Not all of them good. Most of them are, but not all of them good. All right,
Y'all,
guys.
y'all make it a
Thank
good
you.
one. Make it count. Go crush this Friday. Bye, everybody.
All right,
Go
thank you.
get them. Thank you for your time.